Hello, good morning. This is your daily outlook for Thursday, the 15th of December. The euro depreciated against most of its major counterparts for yet another day as last Friday's EU summit hangover continues. Italy entered the markets on Wednesday, and even though the demand was satisfying, Rome had to pay 6.47% on its 5-year bonds, the highest since the euro's launch in 1999. Fitch downgraded 5 major Eurozone financial institutions, including Crédit Agricole, adding to the negative sentiment. Versus the US dollar, the single currency dropped to 129.86 from 130.19. It had earlier reached as low as 129.45, a price not seen since January 11th. Against the Swiss franc, the euro rose to 123.75 from 123.21. The Swiss National Bank rate decision at 8:30 GMT will be monitored by investors worldwide, interested to see whether the central bank will raise the euro-Swiss floor. The US dollar continues strengthening as investors' risk aversion motivated buying of the dollar and selling everything else. Versus the Swiss franc, the US dollar advanced to 0.9529 from 0.9462. Against the Canadian dollar, the greenback rose to 103.91 from 103.45. Versus the Norwegian krone, the US dollar jumped to 5.9806 from 5.9412 after the Norges Bank cut its deposit by 50 base points, 25 more than expected, citing funding stress as a justification for the move. The Australian dollar dropped to 0.9911 from 0.9987 against the US dollar on fears of EU sovereign debt downgrades and growing protectionism attitude between China and the US. The British pound fell to 154.65 from 154.78 versus the US dollar. This came after unemployment data came out moderately better than expected. However, that proved not enough to signal a strengthening labour market. Looking at commodities, we saw oil prices dive to $94.54 a barrel from $99.62. Gold dropped to $1,574.78 an ounce from $1,629.85, and silver declined to $28.89 from $30.71. Now let's take a look at what the currencies are doing this morning. The euro-dollar pivot points at 130.20 with a preference to enter into short positions at 130.20. The dollar-yen pivot points at 77.80 with a preference to enter into long positions at 77.80. The Aussie dollar pivot point is at 0.9980 with a preference to enter into short positions at 0.9980. The sterling dollar pivot point is at 155.35 with a preference to enter into short positions at 155.35. And the dollar CAD pivot point is at 103.50 with a preference to enter into long positions at 103.50. And looking at commodities, the oil pivot point is at 94.10 with a preference to enter into long positions at 94.10. The gold pivot point is at 1597 with a preference to enter into short positions at 1597. And the silver pivot point is at 28.80 with a preference to enter into short positions at 28.80. And of course, for up-to-date information, please visit us at easy-forex.com. And on the calendar, the market movers are the UK retail sales for November forecast to drop by 0.30%, EU inflation for November forecast to rise by 0.10%, and US jobless claims forecast to rise by 390,000. Now on to equities, which were negative across the board. In Europe, the FTSE was down 2.25%, the DAX was down 1.72%, and the CAC was down 3.33%. In the US, the SP 500 was down 1.13% and the Dow was down 1.10%. In Asia, at the time of writing, the Nikkei was down 1.66% and the Hang Seng was down 1.98%. This has been your Daily Outlook. I'm Emma Andrew from the Easy Forex Dealing Room. Have a great day.
Not only have you found a great place for Forex news, you found a great place to trade it. Registration is easy. Just click Join Now. Membership has its unique benefits, such as the freeze rate, the trade simulator, the inside viewer, and personal dealers. Your personal account manager waiting for you now.